So glad to have you join us on this Wednesday, completing our first week as we walk with John through his gospel. The rhythm of this time is as important to us as the fact of what we're doing. Because we're setting up for our spirit an expectation to hear from God's word, to reflect on it, to be in silence and sit with it, and then to set our intention to live it in one way or another. So sit back and let us listen for today's reading, John chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine gave out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what concern is that to you and to me? My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now standing there were sticks, stone water jars for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to them, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. He said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the chief steward." So they took it. When the steward tasted the water that had become wine and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the steward called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and then the inferior wine after the guests have become drunk. But you have kept the good wine until now." Jesus did this, the first of his signs, in Cana of Galilee, and revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother, his brothers, and his disciples, and they remained there a few days. I like patterns, all kinds of patterns. I like paisley and pinstripes, orbiting planets and octopus arms, rigid borders and the repeat on fabric, alphabetized books and Escher-cut diamonds. My mind sees in patterns, looks for patterns, is comforted by patterns. I find a pattern in John 2 that is repeated at least twice more in the Gospels, and likely in other places too. And I wonder if you see it. Column A, if you read it going down, comes from our reading of Jesus' first miracle. The episodes in column B and column C, also to be read in a downward pattern, happen much later in Jesus' ministry. Column B focus on the events of Jesus' time on the cross. Column C is an outline of Christ's glorious resurrection. The pattern tells me that in time as we know it, God reveals things to us that ask for our attention and obedience. We know these revelations are of God because they're so far outside of anything we might imagine. And when we apprehend what God is revealing, when we see beyond the physical manifestation by the power of God's Spirit, faith grows in understanding, and we are most blessed. What is God revealing in and around your life right now? What awareness, what obedience, what excellence might God desire in you? Or what miracle is God willing to perform? And who might receive the sign that that miracle might bring? A sign that would lead to belief. Take a good look at our columns and then wonder about them, what they might speak to your experience of God at this time. And let us enter our time of silent meditation, a prayer of our heart revealed to us because of what God has spoken to us through the Gospel of John. You know, the order that we find in the gospel and the experiences of Jesus remind me that there is order in our relationship with God as well. As I thought about that and setting our intention, I wondered about how God has been faithful to us in the past, and in what situation or in what circumstance right now in our lives might we need to remember and rely on that faithfulness. And so our intention that is set for today is to ask the Lord to help us see the order of his ways in the circumstances of our days. May you be blessed in this search for how God is faithful to you. Thanks for joining us today. Our time together is rich and deep. And for those of you who come to see us on Tuesday, I will welcome you at 10 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the evening as we recall together God's goodness that we have experienced through the Gospel of John. God bless you.